me stuff like, you're ugly, why, you're too tall to be here, you're going to be average.
Nick Mason will never be average. He stands 6'5" and plays on the varsity basketball team at Atascocita High School. And he's just a freshman.
You know, he had a goal to make the team and possibly get into the rotation. But to surpass that by starting, was pretty surprising to me.
Nick has dealt with much more than just the typical hardships that high schoolers go through. At a very young age, he was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism that makes it difficult for those affected to socially interact.
I don't like being with big crowds sometimes. I don't mind talking to a big crowd sometimes, but I'm not gonna hang out with you for a long period of time. It's just not something I'm interested in.
Those with Asperger's typically can become obsessive and intensely focused on a single goal, but they can struggle to develop friendships, and that made Nick an easy target for bullying.
It was tough. I would get home and be emotionally drained. I used to, let's say I was having an argument with my brother, I used to take my anger out on him by yelling sometimes. I used to cry sometimes. I used to tell my parents I hate going to school.
I used to pray. My prayer used to be all the time that I would just like to be able to be him for one day, just to see what he goes through on a daily basis. And then one day I realized, I said, I probably wouldn't want to, because some of the things that he's told me that he's gone through, I probably couldn't handle it.
Asperger's is passed down from the male gene. His younger brother Noah does not have it, but Nick's father Donald does. And he also used basketball as an outlet. Donald was a two-time All-Big West first-teamer at Fresno State and was drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers. But when injuries cut his NBA stint short, Donald played professionally in Europe, where he met Nick's mother, Sybil, also a basketball player. But success didn't come easy. Donald faced the same ruthless bullying his son endures.
You kind of fast forward to Nicholas, and he's being diagnosed with it, and I'm having to educate myself now. What is it? What are the symptoms? How can I help him? What do I need to do? I'm doing something wrong. I've got to fix this. I've got to help him. I don't want him, and that was my biggest that was my biggest thing, is I didn't want him to go through what I went through.
Through the pain, the Masons refused to let Nick's obstacles become roadblocks.
One thing he does to make me increase my work ethic, and also make me do stuff harder. He says, Nick, you're average. And I would just say, what are you talking about? Then I would just go out and do it, everything he said. And I'll be really mad. And he would say at the end of the workout, he would say, "You did a good job." And I say, "Am I average to you now?" And he said, "No, you're fine."
He's got a motor that once it gets going, it's hard to turn off. And that's right now at his age, at the level of basketball he's playing, that's what keeps him going right now. Now, as he gets older and he stays with us and learns our system, he's only going to get better.
Asperger's allows you to have such a razor-sharp focus on things that you enjoy, things you like. And that has been, I tell them, I said, this is a plus, son, for you, because you're able to lock in and focus and see things. Most kids your age don't see.
Kids with Asperger's really should get more of a chance than people give them. They shouldn't just be made fun of or criticized because they're different. Give them a chance, because you don't know what they're going to do in the future. The most successful people in the world have had Asperger's.
Nicholas likes Nicholas, and Nicholas is okay. He understands that it's okay to be different. He always says to us, he's like, Mom, the difference between me and a lot of other people is that Asperger's, they diagnosed me with having Asperger's. I know what's wrong with me. He said, I know a lot of people who walk around that have issues and no one has diagnosed them. So he said, so everybody has something, Mom. I've just been diagnosed with mine. And I said, you're absolutely correct, son.
You're just gonna go through, you're gonna get there. And then when it's time,
I've been a twin all my life, so I don't know how it is not to be a twin. So, I mean, it's great. Just being able to do everything with him being on the same level as you, talent-wise, it's great. Most people have to go through it by themselves and travel by themselves and go to little camp stuff by themselves, but I mean, I always got a brother to take with me, always got a roommate. I was blessed, really.
Over the past 4 years, the Harrison brothers have established themselves as top 5 recruits in the country. The only thing that separates them is their numbers. Andrew wears number 5, while Aaron sports the number 2 on his jersey. Next year, they'll be taking their twin act to the University of Kentucky. One former Wildcat and current Houston Rocket is already impressed with what he sees.
And the Harrison twins are just extremely gifted, which blows my mind. Usually when you have twins like that on the court together, they seem to want to, do too much. But when they're out there together, they're both averaging 18, 20 points a game.
Me and my brother played in a lot of big games before. We played on TV a few times. People in Kentucky expect us to come in there and win, and hopefully that's what we can do for them.
For the next 4 years, we will be attending the University of Kentucky.
We talked about it, prayed about it. I like the idea that they're going to be together. This is something they both want to do.
Oh, it's a very proud day. And my babies. Everybody else sees them as different, but I still see them as my babies, and they have, worked very hard to get to this point, and being here now, it's awesome.
For all the work the twins put into becoming 5-star recruits, they credit their father for their success.
My dad's like 100% responsible for everything that I do. I mean, he started taking me to the gym. He never missed a practice, never missed a game. He always coached me in AAU. He taught me everything I know.
They both weren't raised to play the same position. One was raised to play the 2, one was raised to play the 1. And they're exceptionally well out there on the court together, which blows my mind.
We're better at different things. I mean, he dominates the ball. He gets to the basket whenever he wants. We play off each other, really.
Before the Harrison twins attempt to bring a national title back to Lexington, they have some unfinished business left in the state of Texas. Their Travis High School team lost in last year's 5A state title game to Flower Mound. When asked about getting back to that game, Bull said it gives them even more motivation every single time they step into that gym.
I'm gonna say ready, set, go. That's when we go. All right, going 25 yards. Any questions? Go.
Come on, you gotta work. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
We do 6 events early in the morning that are basically timed events, team events that accumulate time, or either say like the bench press, we'll do a max rep on the bench press, 185. And then we have basically, out of that, we have 8 other events that we'll do that. 6 of them are actually team events like that. And then we actually have some one-on-one competitions on the second part of the day, which is really what these guys come for.